Hey everybody, Tim and Jordan here for a Harley Quinn video. Season 1, episode 7 and 8. We're halfway through the season, making our way. So, season 1, episode 7, The Line. Because people have lines that you can't cross. Like, my line is that I refuse to drink before noon. I refuse to do it. I won't do it, because if you drink before noon, you have a problem. I usually don't wake up until 1 p.m., so I fixed my line.
Perfect. I don't live in a state that isn't marijuana friendly, so it's all good. I live in Oregon and Washington. We're good.
Yeah, there you go. Which isn't it federally decriminalized everywhere in the U.S., or is it still just most states?
You know, they say we're united, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't really like. I live on the West Coast. We're legal over here. That's all I fucking care about.
There you go. Okay. So for this episode, we see the return of the Queen of Fables, played by one of my favorite actresses, Wanda Sykes. Absolutely love her. She is released from the book
after 30 years.
After 30 years, which I love how they brought her character back, because I really liked it the first time we saw her character. I don't remember them saying that she'd been in the book for 30 years the first time, though.
Yeah, they didn't specify. They said that she had been in the book Fables for a very long time, but yeah, I don't think they actually specified, like, a timeline.
Because especially, like, I think in that first episode, it's Zatanna that, like, does her magic and puts her in the book. And in this episode, Zatanna's the one that lets her out.
Right.
Zatanna's, like, 28. So I'm like, okay. Because even then, like, I don't know, Poison Ivy and Harley both seem to be, like, about the 30-ish area. So I was like, you guys weren't even alive when she got put in the book? So it just seemed kind of weird.
Or they were just really young.
Yeah, so, like, I don't know. It just seemed odd to me. The whole premise is ending the bloodline, because Queen of Fables is very intense. Just killing people. Like, she brings Humpty Dumpty out and just, boom, cracks him open to make an omelet.
He makes great scrambled eggs.
Which, one of my bucket lists, I don't have a very large bucket list, but I do have a bucket list. One of them is an ostrich egg, to eat an ostrich egg.
I would want to try an ostrich.
And to see, like, when Queen of Fables, like, opened Humpty Dumpty, that's what I thought of, was like an ostrich egg. And I was like, okay, I mean, I'm not even mad, it's fine. So they go through, and long story short, Queen of Fables kills this entire family, and she's like, you gotta kill everybody, because you have to end the bloodline. That way you don't get revenge. Which is very, like, Kill Bill-ish.
Right.
Where, I mean, for years they've been talking about a Kill Bill Volume 3 with Vivica A. Fox's daughter.
Oh,
okay. And because they even say that in the movie, where after the bride kills Vivica A. Fox, she's like, 10 years or so from now, if you're still angry, come find me.
Oh.
And then, I mean, that's from the movie. And then, like, ever since then, Tarantino's been like, we're going to make a third one with her, like, going after. And it's like, okay, well, it's been 15 years, so I don't think it's happening. But anyways, I don't know, kill in the bloodline so you don't get revenge.
Right, which is where Harley kind of fucks up because she thinks it's like a little girl.
Because all she sees is the ponytail.
Yeah, and she's like, oh no, there's like a little girl with a ponytail. Like, yeah, everyone died. My bad. Mm-hmm. It's cool.
Which is as two people with long hair, and you realize that it wasn't a little girl with a ponytail. It was a full-grown man with long hair. I was like, yeah, it could happen. I get it.
I mean, hey.
Oh, yeah, you got yours pulled back, and then mine's good. So I was like, yeah, I believe it. The subplot behind all of it is Poison Ivy is embarrassed to be dating Kite Man. To throw a Pam phrase from Archer, he is a moped. Or no, that's not Pam, that's Cheryl. You're a moped! You're fun to ride, but you don't want your friends to see you. Or however that goes.
Right, and it's really sad because, like, you would think, like, they meet up in a hotels and you find out they end up having sex. And then it's like, they're at a restaurant and he's like, you know, if you just drop your name, we might actually get a seat. And she's like, no, that's okay.
No,
and then he's like, wait a minute, the hat, the glasses, yeah, the scarf, the long trench. He's like, you're embarrassed to be seen with me.
Which I love Harley's line where she's like, why are you dressed like a 40s housewife?
That's sleeping with her boss.
Yeah, that's sleeping with her boss. Her husband's boss.
Yeah. And she's like, just don't talk to me.
I'm gonna go do environment.
Yeah. What? You're gonna do environment?
Like,
she just walks off.
Yeah, But I mean, I loved it. I thought it was a great episode. Them like conquering, because you can tell by the end of the episode, Queen of Fables once again leaves, and she's like, this is gonna be a mistake. You leaving me alive. She's gonna come back.
Right, and that's even though she says it to Harley. She's like, "You leaving me alive? You fucked up." But she's like, "Yeah, exactly." But like, and that was pretty. Yeah, she just walks off. She's like, "You saved me." Because I'm on Argolum, so yeah, thank you. But yeah, you done fucked up and left me alive, so you're cool.
So I'm excited to kind of see the third part of the Queen of Fables story, because it's gonna come. All right, the next episode, LODRSVP, which is Legion of Doom, and then I don't know what RSVP actually stands for. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. So this is where this entire time, 8 episodes, Harley has been trying to get into the Legion of Doom. Try to say that with a Bane voice. The Legion of Doom.
So we're going to taco time all over.
And so the opening scene's pretty great with Aquaman. It's really punny, where like just Poison Ivy's like, "Did somebody ask for kelp?"
Yeah, and she like restricts like. Yeah.
It's great to I thought it was a really, really interesting episode, though, just because the Legion of Doom actually wants Ivy and has sent her over 100 requests, but she keeps
100 and like I think
23
they say like 123 requests, and she ignores them,
and she turns them down every single time. And so finally, Lex Luthor's like, "Okay, well, we'll take Harley, but only if you come with her."
Which is kind of fucked up.
It's I mean, they're the Legion of Doom. They're bad guys.
I know, right? Like, they're scandalous.
Scandalous. But it was actually a really kind of interesting. Like, it just shows how Poison Ivy is like an A-list Batman villain, and Harley's like still struggling to kind of make it on her own.
She's that D-list.
So I mean, I loved it. I thought that was a really good. Like I said, a lot of people kind of get bogged down by like, oh, it's a comedy, and they say like dirty jokes and stuff like that. But like, this is one of those instances where like there is some deep messaging going on here.
Oh, definitely. Where like they're like, hey, because more realistically, like even beginning when like they're fighting Aquaman, the news reports Poison Ivy. They don't report Harley Quinn. So that's, I feel like right from the get go, that Poison Ivy is going to be more recognized than Harley Quinn. And so it's instantly one of those things. But it's just because unfortunately it's one of those where it's like, Poison Ivy actually has powers, whereas Harley Quinn is literally just like,
badass.
Yeah, she can just fuck with people. And so that's the part where I feel like the Legion of Doom, if you notice, everyone that's in the Legion of Doom that is like higher power actually has like power.
I'll agree and disagree.
Yeah.
Only because I'm more of the comic book nerd. But like, I'll agree like to an extent. Like, you got characters like Mr. Freeze and stuff like that, or even Lex Luthor, because he's rich. He's the evil Batman. His superpower is being rich.
Yeah, he's the evil Batman.
But I mean, realistically speaking, if you look at characters like the Joker or even Two-Face, I mean, they have zero power. Their power is just that they're crazy.
And even like, but you like, I don't know, as little as I know about like DC and stuff like, and Marvel, whatever, I feel like I don't know, it's just I feel like the people with power, like actual like power, have the more like upper hand versus like the Joker or Harley Quinn, whereas like the Joker, you see episodes where like he tries to mind fuck people and it ends up backfiring on him. Whereas like 9 times out of 10, the people that actually have powers, like usually their powers end up working again, like with them. And so I feel like that's a very interesting thing.
Well, I think that's why Batman's rogue gallery is so well done. Because as people have pointed out, like if you look at like Superman or Spider-Man, like you said, a lot of them are like powers that reflect them. So like a lot of Superman's villains are aliens and stuff like that.
Right.
Or Spider-Man, a lot of them are animal related. Like you got Rhino, Dr. Octopus, the Green Goblin kind of, Black Cat, stuff like that, the Vulture. And if you look at Batman, for starters, he's just a normal dude that's just rich. And a lot of his villains are actually like doctor/professor. Like Dr. Crane is the Scarecrow. Professor Isley was Poison Ivy. Like Mr. Freeze was a professor. Like you go down this list.
But like I said, it's usually people that were like normal people, and then something fucked up happened to them, and they just kind of turned evil. Like,
yeah, but see, that's where I was going. Was like a lot of the Batman ones are like they're geniuses. They're equally just like super smart people that had something fucked up happen to them. Like even like Dr. Harleen Quinzel. Really smart individual. One bad day, to quote The Killing Joke, and they're like, fuck it, I'm destroying the world. And now they're using their genius to destroy things rather than create.
Right.
So it's for Batman specifically, it's kind of half and half. But that's what's great about the Legion of Doom is, I mean, you get everybody. Like we saw Black Manta, we saw Mephisto, who is the robot that is full of kryptonite for Superman, stuff like that.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
He's the one that's walking through the metal detector, and they're like, "Did you take all the change out?
Did you take your exoskeleton off?"
He's literally just a metal robot. Like it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
One of the great shout outs that I really liked was at the climax, the best part of this, where Poison Ivy is trying everything under her power to just get Harley the fuck out before Harley is sad. They do a great shout out where she's like, let's just blow this. Let's just be our own Legion of Doom. It's just going to be you and me. It's going to be Harley.
You don't need these guys. Like, you're fine.
Well, she's like, it's just going to be Harley and Ivy. Harley and Ivy is the name of the episode. It's like episode 57 or something from Batman the Original Series back in 1992. The name of the episode is Harley and Ivy, where they meet for the first time and go on their little like joyride to destroy Gotham together. They're like, it's going to be a beautiful friendship. That was the name of the episode. So that was just a nice little, because I love Batman the Animated Series, so that was a nice little shout out for that. I honestly did not give two fucks about the subplot where it's like Psy the Cyborg and Dr. Psycho dealing with the octopus monster underneath the mall.
Sister.
Yeah, and it ends up being his sister. Like I didn't give two single fucks about it.
It was a CIA experiment gone wrong.
To combine an octopus and a monkey, call it a monkey puss.
Monkey puss. Yeah. That somehow. Yeah, it was the CIA. Dumb. We don't question it.
And then this is one of the few episodes, like I said, so we're doing these in groups of 2, and I was a little sad because this one ends on a big cliffhanger where Harley walks into the Legion of Doom and the Joker shows up. So we'll have to see what the Joker wants.
Oh, that's right, because it ends because and Poison Ivy isn't there with her.
Yeah, because Harley and Poison Ivy aren't talking.
Because that's the whole reason why she even goes to this like the Legions of Doom like party is because Poison Ivy pulls the like hand card and she's like, oh, I guess I'll just meet the Joker and we'll just talk and like blah blah blah, and maybe if he persuades me to get back together, I guess that'll just happen. So Poison Ivy's like, fine, I'll go. Where versus like now Poison Ivy's busy with like I forgot what the fuck she's doing.
I didn't really say.
I'm slightly intoxicated, so I forgot.
More than slightly, so it's okay.
But it's just very interesting because he sits like which I kind of expected, which is really sad.
I mean, it's good storytelling. Because it literally, like, it ends with the Joker turning around in the chair, and it makes you want to just, boom, let's watch the next one. What's going to happen? That's good storytelling.
And that's the thing is because I think it says, like, everyone else declined the meeting except for one.
Oh, something like that.
Yeah, and then it ends up being the Joker, and so I'm curious so I'm curious as to how that's going to go. Because I remember, like, he says something about, like, everyone else, like, blah, 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 like, basically, like, they declined, or they refused to show up, or they didn't show up. And then they're like, but one showed up, and then it was the Joker. So, and the fact that Harley Quinn is by herself, and so like, I'm curious as to how that's gonna go down.
Oh, we gotta go watch it. We gotta go find out.
Oh fuck, more reviews tonight. Okay.
So I'm curious.
I mean, I'm happy.
like we said, like the whole premise of this is such a fucked up story. I don't know if we flipped it. We still got a little bit of time to talk. If we flipped it, I can't. Off the top, I'm drunk too. These are drunk nerd reviews.
Drunken reviews.
if we flipped it, I can't think of a reason why. But if I wanted to get into some club, but they wouldn't let me, but they invited you, but you didn't want to join, would you join just to get me into the club, or would you tell me that like, hey, they don't want you, they just want me, and they're inviting you? Like, my whole goal in life is to go on a Star Trek cruise. I don't know why. This is just the first thing that comes to mind. And they're like, they don't want you on the cruise, but they want me to go on the cruise. And to get me, they're going to have you go.
Like, if the Star Trek cruise was like, hey, you're more sociable, you're outgoing.
I mean, I would go on this cruise and then just spend the entire time in the cabin.
Right, exactly.
Like,
so if they came at me and they were like, hey, so your husband's applied like multiple times.
And we don't want him.
We don't want him, but like we notice that you're super social, so like you'll go out and actually spend money. Like, if we invite you, like, will that be okay? Like,
so would you just go so that way I would be happy not knowing that they didn't want me? Or would you tell me and say, like, they don't fucking want you, they're after me, and that's it? Ooh,
so we've been married for 10 years, so like I love you so much. I would straight up tell you, be like, okay, so like I know you want to go on this cruise. They offered me a position to go on this cruise because they know that I'm going to go out, I'm going to be social. They didn't invite you because they know you're going to stay in the cabin the whole time. Like, I would straight up tell you the truth. I would be like, I would straight up be like, look.
Well, and that's what Poison Ivy does at the when it finally comes down to the last minute. That's what she does. So.
Yeah, like, I would straight up tell you, be like, look, you can go on this cruise all you want, but you're only going on this cruise because of me, and I will go on this cruise to benefit you. If
you're a bastard.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, I would go on this cruise because, like, that's the sad thing is I'm Poison Ivy in this episode because I'd be like, I don't want to be a part of the Legion of Doom, but I know you want to be a part of the Legion of Doom.
Well, that's.
So.
I mean, I twisted it for that reason. I mean, we could flip it to something else. Like, you want to go to Hempfest, but can't buy tickets. But then they're like, if you want free tickets, we'll give you free tickets. I'm like, fuck that. I don't want to go.
Like,
I mean, we can make up scenarios. Chills, yeah, like, we could make up scenarios all the time. But I was just like curious if you would be the like you would just do it or you would tell them the truth and you tell them the truth.
I'm so truthful. Like, and like,
see, I'm like kind of the evil one.
You'd be like, yeah,
I would tell you just so we could like fuck them up after we got in. Like, just so you know, they don't want you. They want me. But they're trying to get me through you. So once we get in, we're just going to plant a bomb, kill them all, and then say deuces and leave.
So you are the villain.
Yeah.
Where me, I'm
the Queen of Fables in this story. Where I'm like, we're not leaving a bloodline for these characters.
Where me, I'm like, hey, I'm going to tell you the truth, and then you can decide whatever the fuck happens.
Yeah, so I'm the evil one. But it's cool. I'm okay with that.
Like, okay, that's fine. I'm Ivy. That's awesome. Okay. I'm okay with that.
Okay. Any other closing thoughts for episodes 7 and 8?
I'm so drunk right now. Sorry if I burped like 3 times in this video. I just can't help it.
That's great. Usually he's the sober one, so it's fun. Okay. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up since he can't even breathe anymore.
I can breathe. Shut up. I'm not dead yet.
So, for those who have been watching Harley Quinn, go ahead. Let us know what you think about episodes 7 and 8. Like I said, we're almost done with season 1.
Yeah, let us know what you know about it.
I think there's 13 episodes in a season. So, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And we'll see you guys next time for 9 and 10.